SBI Mutual Fund in India, which is one of the largest and one of the oldest asset management company in India. Now company presence across the India and serving millions of investor. Hello friends, this is Vijay and welcome back to my channel. Friends, in this video, I would like to discuss about top 3 SBI mutual fund schemes. Over the last 10-15 years, these funds, they have been created huge wealth for many investors. In the future also, these funds, they are expected to grow very faster in the future. Friends, if you are planning to invest into the SBI mutual fund and if you are looking for particular schemes, in this video, I would like to discuss more about these schemes. Friends, you can stay till the end because you'll be learning a lot in this video. Let's get started. The first one is SBI Small Cap Fund. Small cap category mutual funds, they will predominantly invest into small cap category stocks. Small cap category stocks, they are highly volatile in the nature. In the short term, they may give negative return, but if you invest for next 10 years or 15 years, and if you are willing to take the risk, then definitely you can invest into small cap category mutual fund. Second one is SBI Magnum Midcap Fund. It's a mid-cap category mutual fund. Mid-cap category mutual funds, they will predominantly invest into mid-cap category stocks. Mid-cap stocks, they are in the phase of growth and expansion. In the long term, they can create you huge wealth in the long term. If you compare with a small cap and large cap, mid-caps are neither too small nor big. That's the reason they are expected to grow very faster in the future. Next one is SBI Contra Fund. Contra category mutual fund, which is one of the special category mutual fund which will always go against the market tide. I would like to give some of the example. During the 2017, ICICI Bank had very tough time. In that time, Chanda Kochar, she was the CEO of the bank. Due to some reason, she had to resign from the bank. In that time, bank has corrected more than 40%. In that time, everybody was selling ICICI Bank. Very few category mutual funds, they were buying the ICICI Bank. In that situation, if you buy that particular stock, for that we call it as a contra bet. I would like to give one more example. Right now, IT stocks are in a correction mode. TCS, Infosys, Wipro, right now they have corrected more than 10-15%. The major reason is the slowdown in US market. But this problem is going to be a short-term problem. In another next 3 years or 4 years, things will normalize. Again, stocks, they are going to bounce back. If you buy that stock right now, for that we call it as a contra bet.
In a simple word, when quality stocks they are having a bad time and that problem is going to be a short term problem, in the future that problem is going to be a normalized. If you buy that stock during the bad time, for that we call it as a contra bet. Friends, now we will discuss more about all three mutual fund schemes. Let's get started.
SBI Small Cap Fund, which was launched in 2009. If you look at the AUM, asset under management, which is 28,000 crores. If you look at the expense ratio, which is 1.40%. If you look at the NAV, net asset value, which is 160. If you look at the asset allocation, 93% of allocation into equity market, 7% of allocation into debt market. Within equity, 8% of allocation into mid cap, 85% of allocation into small cap. If you look at the top 5 sectors, 24% of allocation into financials, 15% of allocation into services, 10% of allocation into consumer staple, 9% of allocation into consumer discretionary, 8% of allocation into capital goods. If you look at the top 10 stocks, Domes Industries, SBFC Finance, Chalet Hotel, Kalpataru Project, CMS Info System, Avas Financial Services, Blue Star Limited, Cholamandalam Finance Holding, KIMS Krishna Institute of Medical Science, KPR Mill Limited. If you look at the fund manager, Mohan Lal is the fund manager. He has got 15 years of experience in the industry. If you look at the return since inception, the fund has generated 20% of return, which is very good. 10,000 rupees SIP in the scheme since inception. Now your investment value will become 19 lakh. Market value will become 1 crore 15 lakh rupees. SBI Magnum Midcap Fund, which was launched in 2005. If you look at the AUM, asset under management, which is 20,000 crores. If you look at the expense ratio, which is 1.60%. If you look at the NAV, net asset value, which is 220. If you look at the asset allocation, 92% of allocation into equity market, 8% of allocation into debt market. If you look at the equity allocation, 8% of allocation into large cap, 66% of allocation into mid cap, 18% of allocation into small cap. Fund has got good diversification across the market capitalization. If you look at the top 5 sectors, 15% of allocation into finance, 13% of allocation into healthcare, 9% of allocation into services, 8% of allocation into capital goods, 7% of allocation into materials. If you look at the top 10 stocks, Crisil Limited, Bajaj Finance, Sundaram Finance, Toronto Pharma, Mahindra and Mahindra, KPR Mill, the Federal Bank, AIA Engineering Limited, Jubilant Foodwork, and L&T Technology. If you look at the fund manager, Bhavin Vitlani is the fund manager. He has got 20 years of experience in the industry. Since 2014, he has been managing the fund. If you look at the return since inception, the fund has generated 18% of return, which is very good. 10,000 rupees SIP in the scheme since inception. Now your investment value will become 24 lakh, market value will become 2 crore rupees. SBI Contra Fund, which was started in 1999. If you look at the AUM, asset under management, which is 39,000 crores. If you look at the expense ratio, which is 1.50%. If you look at the NAV, net asset value, which is 350. If you look at the asset allocation, 90% of allocation into equity market, 10% of allocation into debt market. Within equity, 45% of allocation into large cap, 30% of allocation into mid cap, 15% of allocation into small cap. If you look at the top 5 sectors, 22% of allocation into financial services, 15% of allocation into oil and gas, 13% of allocation into information technology, 10% of allocation into healthcare, 8% of allocation into FMCG, 10% of allocation into metal and mining. If you look at the top 10 stocks, HDFC Bank, Reliance Industry, Kotak Bank, Tech Mahindra, GAIL, Toronto Power, Tata Steel, State Bank of India, ITC, and Dabur. This fund, it will also invest into US stocks. Some of the stocks are Cognizant and Efirm System. Look at the fund manager, Dinesh Balachandran is the fund manager. He has got 25 years of experience in the industry. Since 2018, he has been managing the fund. If you look at the return since inception, the fund has generated 19% of return, which is very good. 10,000 rupees SIP in the scheme since inception. Now your investment value will become 30 lakh. Market value will become 5 crore 30 lakh rupees. Friends, in this video, we have discussed about top 3 SBI mutual fund scheme. The first one is the SBI Small Cap Fund. Second one is the SBI Magnum Midcap Fund. Third one is the SBI Contra Fund. Friends, if you are planning to create wealth in next 10 years, then aramse you can invest into any of the mutual fund scheme. Friends, many retail investors, they will think too much about the short-term market volatility. In the long run, they will miss bigger picture. I would like to give recent example. Right now, Indian equity market, which is in a correction mode, Nifty and Sensex, which has corrected around 15%. Right now, most of the retail investors, they are confused whether to continue their SIP or whether to stop. They don't know what to do. In that situation, what you can do is you can consult your financial advisor so that they will build a right portfolio according to your financial goal. During the correction time, they will top up your SIP as well as they will assist you to do lump sum investment. When market goes up, automatically you will be able to create huge wealth. Friends, I hope you find this video useful. If you like this video, please to subscribe, please to check with your committee. If you required any help with regards to the mutual fund investment, you can contact me in the below link. Thank you so much.